This is the crucial part of critical moment that we need to find out with Kun Ralph. Kun Ralph, you have been through the business for many years. There must be ups and downs, up and down. Nothing is full of roses, even in art business. What exactly, thinking back, was your critical moment?
Well, first of all, I have a very short memory. It goes back to one day.
Okay.
But all in all, the critical moment is every day. When you look at the design and you need to say, yes, go ahead. And you want to avoid that this is being produced and is being changed halfway, or is being produced and is being discarded, or is being produced and doesn't sell. It's a responsibility, a heavy responsibility.
Yes.
And it also requires human touch with the designer, because he's put all his heart in, and I've already changed him 5 times, and he's getting already a little bit restless, and so I have to kind of cheer him up and say, now look, it's very, very good, but we need to work a little bit on it. Let's see, what do you think we should do here, and so on. It's touch and go, but most people who have been with us for over 20 years. So they do believe that changes at the end lead to a better product.
Yes.
So they are very patient. But there were times, like for instance that wave piece that you see over there, where they are so desperate that they really were close to throwing everything and saying, we can't do it anymore.
You cannot throw it away.
No, you cannot. But of course they won't. But they were getting very tense.
Yes.
They're getting very stressed. And then we have to find a way to bring them back into a cheerful mood and continue, because when the Thais have no fun, nothing happens. They need to have fun. They need to enjoy their work. And that's a very important motivation in Thailand.
Particularly if they are artists.
Yes,
That's
yes.
why we call them tit. They have a mind of their own.
Right.
And if you discard their design, they take it personally, don't they?
Of course.
You know what? You are a man full of surprises. When I asked you about critical moment, I thought that you would mention something like it is very difficult to bring in the raw material of rare nature. But no, your critical moment rests on people who work for you.
Yes.
So can I safely say that a lot of the credits that going on around here is not just for you, it should be for the people who work for you as well.
Definitely. We work as a team, and everybody is contributing in one way or another.
And Kun Helen, who started all this, what happened to her along the way?
Well, she is still the mother of all mothers. So she's still, whenever we have an undecided question, we go back to her and ask for her opinion.
Yes. So you work with people in order to come up with these heavenly pieces. And the people that you work with have been working with you for over 20 years.
Yeah.
What made them stay?
Well, I think I haven't really thought about it.
Do you give them good money?
Well, I think we pay well, but we are not paying exceedingly well. But we are giving incentive.
Yes.
We're giving incentive based on sales. So if somebody designed something, it was produced and it's sold, they all get down the line some incentive of that sale.
That is
So it's a
very...
variable cost, it's not a fixed cost.
Yes.
Because we get subjected to all kind of crises, whether it is airline fuel crisis, or tourist crisis, or economic crisis, or currency crisis.
Yes.
So we try to keep the fixed cost low
Yes.
And we are aiming, we are not there, and it will take a long time to come there. We're aiming at about 30-40% incentive and 60% fixed income.
Okay.
But this year, most of our workers got 60% more incentive than last year
Why is that? Why are you giving them a raise?
because we raised the variable cost, not the fixed cost. We are not increasing salary.
So you're willing to pay to your people more if you make more.
Exactly.
That's right. And how do you keep your fixed costs down then?
Well, we're trying to control it to stay at a certain point, and we work with budgets and with computers and all that.
Yes.
And there are endless meetings which I luckily don't attend anymore, but my sons attend.
Yes.
And they are very meticulous in checking and say, where have we spent more than we budget?
That's beautiful. You are now complaining about the budget, but you have just talked to us about the 30 million that you spend on your programming on your computer and the material of the best in the world. Are you a businessman or an artist?
Well, I think I'm a poor businessman, but not really poor, but I'm, let's say...
You're a rich businessman.
No, also not. Certainly not rich. Certainly
Yes,
not
that's
rich.
because
but
you
I'm
keep-
rich because I have a wonderful life.
You're rich at heart, and the reason that you're not richer is because you keep treating your clientele with all those wonderful events. That's why.
Well, it's also fun. It's also fun. There's nothing better in life actually than to meet friends, drink a glass of wine,
Yes?
and share stories or whatever.
Yes, isn't it? Well, you mentioned about your two sons taking over, and you don't have to run the meeting anymore. How do you delegate that, and how do you inspire your two sons to work with you? So many people at this day cannot convince their children to work in their family business, you know.
Well, it's not easy, but it worked.
Did they try at any time, Kun Si and Kun Nikki, try to deviate from Lotus Art de Vivre? They wanted to do something else, trade stocks or something.
They did, but finally they all came back.
Okay, so you allow them to explore the world.
Well, I certainly encourage them, else they will not appreciate what they have at home.
So that was part of your plan, to have them explore so that they appreciate what they have.
Well, I thought it's not wise to force them to stay, but it would be good to look around and gather experience.
Is that your Western way of raising children or your nurtured Eastern Asian way?
I think it's very much the Asian way. I just took my grandchildren up to Mount Kairat, which was a shock for them.
Oh,
It was
yes.
probably
How old are your grandchildren?
14 and 15.
Okay, okay.
And they had never been out of the comfort zone.
Yes.
So now they suddenly have to walk without electricity, carry their own stuff, not all of it, but carry something,
Yes.
and sleep in a tent and in high altitude. So that was a life-changing experience, I hope. We have planted the seed. It will take some months for them
Yes.
to sink in, and that they understand that the life they have is actually a very good life. And I think the best spot in the world for any child to grow up is Thailand.
Why is that?
Well, if you see a little baby in the street,
Yes.
and foreigners walk by, everybody's face changes and looks at that child. They love children, they admire children, and it's a wonderful place to grow up. Where I grew up as a child, I was not allowed to talk when grown-ups talk. I was not allowed that, I was not allowed that. There were all kinds of restrictions. In Thailand, children have a wonderful life.
So raising children in Thailand, you give them more freedom.
A lot of freedom.
More than the Western way of
Much
upbringing.
More, much more, much more.
and bringing your grandchildren to Khao Krai Ret. They were not with their parents.
The parents were also along.
Oh, good.
Parents were along, and I was along. Helen doesn't walk.
Oh, well, it was high altitude.
Yes.
But it is very tiring, though.
It is very tiring.
Yes.
We went up to 5,500 meters. So it's very thin air,
Yes.
very tiring. And they asked me many times, why are we here?
And what was your answer?
My answer was, there's a story in Thailand of the Kop Nai Kala. So I told them that we are trying to enlarge that little hole of the Kala,
Kalas.
so that they see a little bit more of the world. And it's up to them to help enlarge that hole.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you enlarge the little gop, a little frog, so that their world can be explored through their very own eyes.
Yeah.
That's leading the way.
Well,
That's leading the way. And coming back to leading the way, you allow your children to be explored so that they can appreciate more. Are you doing the same with your grandchildren, Grandpa?
well, this was certainly an alternative to go to a mountain and walk on track and sleep in a tent.
Yeah.
That was an alternative.
So do you feel responsible to raise your grandchildren as well?
Well, I think it's a very important job of mine to teach the grandchildren to ski, to play golf, to eat properly, and choose the right food, and to be aware of the surrounding and be curious.
Isn't that the job of their parents?
It's true, but I have more time for them than probably the parents have.
And do they appreciate it, the parents of the children?
The parents certainly appreciate it, but whether the children appreciate it will be later after I'm dead.
No, I think they appreciate every moment. How was the trip at the end? Did they say anything to you about the trip with such high altitude up there?
Not yet.
Not
it
yet?
will come, it will come.
Yeah. I am sure they appreciate every moment of it, especially your children. We'll be right back for the last part. Stay tuned.
La 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 la